Thank you, Marc Jacobs. Hallelujah. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the Marc Jacobs Remarcable Full Coverage Foundation Concentrate. I have 3 shades here to show you guys because I couldn't figure out my situation. I'm wearing this foundation for about 2 weeks now, so I'm just going to share my thoughts with you guys and show you a little demo how it applies with both a brush and a beauty blender. Let's do it. Also, quick note, if you want to see a tutorial on the rest of my makeup, I do have that. It's a New Year's Eve rose gold look. I'll link it down below in the description box because I'm pretty sure that video will be up first. Whoa, I didn't breathe that whole time I said that. So if you've seen my makeup collection video or if you watch any of my videos, you guys know I'm a foundation hoarder. I love foundations. They're my favorite kind of makeup to try out. If you're a pale princess, you know that finding the right foundation shade is a frickin' struggle. I'm gonna leave a playlist with all of my foundation reviews down below. So if you want to see foundations that I found that work for my skin tone, go watch those videos. So this foundation claims to be an oil-free, lightweight, full coverage foundation concentrate. It says you're supposed to get 24 hours of wear with this. I actually did test that claim on accident. I had a migraine and fell asleep with my makeup on one of the nights I was in Tahoe. If you follow me on Snapchat, you saw all of that. Not the migraine part, but everything else. I had a hot pack on one side of my face, which was the side I was sleeping on. When I woke up in the morning, the hot pack side was worn off a little bit because it probably like literally melted it off. The rest of my face was literally like I could have gone out the rest of the day with it on. It looked flawless. This foundation retails for $55 and you get a little bit less than the standard foundation. You get 0.75 ounces, but honestly you need so little of this product that I feel like it would last you almost longer than a normal size foundation. The packaging is obviously, I think, beautiful. Looks kind of like a giant pill to me, but I weirdly like it. It is a glass base right here, so if you're traveling, which I was, make sure you pack it well. It looks pretty thick, so I can't see it breaking unless you like drop it off the second floor of a building. Packaging wise, the outside is really nice. You take off this lid and then it has this applicator. The applicator is questionable. I really wish they made a different kind of application. I think since it's a concentrate, they were thinking that a dropper application would be best, but this is just kind of strange because there's no actual dropper. It's just a stick with a little ball at the end basically. The product gets completely stuffed down in the rim right here, and it's not even that the rim hits the silver so you could like scrape it off. There's actually a hole down there where the foundation is just collecting. Don't like the applicator of this at all. I think they could have done a little pump or some kind of other application. I'm just really not a fan of this. You'll see in the demo, but the way that I apply it is kind of just put it directly on my face. I don't put it on any open acne spots because I don't want to contaminate the applicator and then put it back in the bottle. I probably should put it directly on a palette, but I don't know. In reality, I'm not going to do that. If you're worried about the product getting contaminated, you could use a palette or the back of your hand to mix it on first and then just apply it to the face. As far as shades go, like I said, I have 3. The first one I purchased was 10 Ivory Light. This is the palest shade that they make. If you have pale skin, this will definitely work for you. I did a shade comparison on my Instagram between this and the Kat Von D L42 foundation. It is slightly darker, but honestly, on my skin tone, it's too light, which is why I purchased 2 more shades. It looks a little bit ghostly on my skin tone. If you're paler than I am, this will be perfect for you. I applaud them for making a shade that is pale people friendly. Thank you, Marc Jacobs. Hallelujah. So I ordered 2 more shades to try and mix in with this foundation, and the ones I ordered was 12 Ivory and 22 Bisque Light, just because this one seemed like it was a little bit more yellow than I like, and then this one just turned out to be way too dark. This is like an NC 30 probably. Yeah, I'm going to be returning this one, but what I have been doing is mixing the 2 lightest shades, which is 10 and 12, and it seems to be working pretty well for me. It's kind of annoying to have to mix these every single day because sometimes my face is a little bit darker than I'd like or a little bit lighter. What I might end up doing is using an empty foundation bottle and kind of just making my own shade and mixing these 2 so I don't have to mix it every single time on my face. So I am going to be keeping these 2 shades and then returning this one. If you're debating between the 2 lightest shades, I'll do a little shade comparison right here so that you guys can see the difference. 12 is quite a bit darker and it definitely has more yellow tones in it. The lightest shade is pretty pink tone. If you're debating between the 2 and you're pale, I would honestly start out with the lightest one and then work your way up. If you get the wrong shade, just keep your receipt. You can always return it at Sephora. So they obviously recommend getting their Marc Jacobs number 3 buffing brush, which is a $55 brush. I'm not about to spend $55 on brushes when I have ones here that'll work just fine. My favorite brush that I found to apply this is actually an e.l.f. brush. This is about $6, I think. I'll leave the link to this brush down below because I don't have a name on here, but I think this is just the foundation brush. It's a short brush, really dense, really great for blending out this foundation. I've tried this foundation with a couple different brushes, my Sigma brushes, the Beauty Blender, my Real Techniques sponge, and I just love this the best with it. It gives the best coverage, it looks flawless, and for a $6 brush you can't go wrong. As far as priming and powdering with this foundation, I'm still trying to figure out the best primer combination for this foundation. What I've been using lately is a Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I got a sample of this with my Sephora VIB points or whatever. I was not buying into the whole like priming water situation, but I think I actually like this. So I've basically been putting on a moisturizer, spraying a couple of spritz of this on, and then applying the foundation. Blends out easily. The only downside to this foundation that I've found so far is that it dries very, very quickly. If you're blending on your face, which I do, you have to work really fast or else it'll dry on your face before you're fully blended. Work in sections so that doesn't happen to you. This is fully full coverage. I am a stickler for foundations that claim that they're full coverage because I have acne, I have scarring, you guys know what my skin looks like. I need a good full coverage foundation, and this is 100% what it claims to be. I probably use a little bit more than the average person. They say that you need about 3 to 4 drops for your full face if you want full coverage. I don't know how much I use because I just kind of spread it on in both shades. You guys will see how much I use, but that's what gives me the coverage that I like. I don't think you can get more full coverage than this. This literally covers up everything. If you don't want completely full coverage, you could always shear this down with a moisturizer or a BB cream. This is probably the most full coverage foundation I've ever tried. The Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation comes pretty close, but the finish of this is not even comparable. This looks like it's a normal lightweight concealer. It looks pretty much like skin. Definitely looks like you're wearing makeup because your face is so flawless. But as far as the finish, it doesn't look like a full coverage heavy foundation at all. So now going into the demo, as far as how it applies with both a brush and a makeup sponge, I prefer this e.l.f. brush over anything I've tried. Not sure if you can fully tell on camera, but the brush side does give better coverage. It's totally fine blending out with a makeup sponge, but I just prefer the brush side better. If you want to shear it out a little bit and you don't want as full of coverage, the sponge will be a good option for you. I just mix it directly on my face. I just like how that applies the best because then I can see like in real time as I'm kind of blending it out with my finger if I need to add more light or more dark to it. It feels very lightweight but creamy. Blends out really easily, does dry quick so you have to work fast. Blush, bronzer, everything stays on great on top of this foundation. At the end of the day, all of that is still completely on. The finish of it is a really nice satiny, I would say it's a satin matte finish. I love the finish of it. I think it's beautiful. I do not powder my face at all when I use this. You don't need to. It stays on all day, doesn't get oily on my skin, especially if I use an oil controlling primer underneath. 9 out of 10 foundations break me out. I am so happy that this is not one of those foundations. This doesn't make my acne worse. Overall, my only complaints with this foundation is the applicator, and it does transfer. So if you're hugging someone, or the other day I was wearing a jacket and I like turned my head and the foundation got on the jacket right here on the collar. So it does transfer. If you powder it, it might not transfer as much. I'm not sure, haven't tried that out. Even though it transfers, it doesn't look like it comes off your face, if that makes sense. If you put your hand on your face, you might get some foundation on your fingers, but it's not gonna like come off the side of your face, which is nice. I don't really know how that works, but it does. Overall, should you buy this foundation? Personally, I am super happy with it. Like I said, I've been using this for a couple weeks and I'm going to continue to use it and test out different ways to mix this foundation. If you have the $55 to spend and you want a good, long-lasting, full coverage foundation, go for it. If you guys liked this video and it was helpful for you, give it a thumbs up so I know. Let me know down below in the comments what foundation do you guys want to see a review on next. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.